everybody. We will tell about Okhtyrka and neighborhood Dachny, and our focus is people and community first. We will talk a lot about it, and I will introduce our beautiful team, and I will give you a microphone for a few minutes. So we work with Okhtyrka. I will not stop a lot to talk about the city, but it's a small, beautiful, very unique city with a culture, huge heritage, and it is near a Russian border, and this city has the typical structure of Ukrainian city, so it's a small city center with a lot of greenness around the city and near the city. And a lot of private housing. And during the war, Okhtyrka was a very like a strong city that stopped Russian army. But of course, some part of the city was destroyed, and our district that we work with was a little bit destroyed also. We will tell it after. And our neighborhood located near the city center, and you see this picture of this typical Soviet micro-district with this like a unique heritage. And we research about this neighborhood in the scale of the city. So how can it work with mobility, how can it work with greenness, and how can it work with all the functions, and we make some proposals and decision about it. And some important point about Okhtyrka and this district that near Okhtyrka it's an embassy, green network like a network 2000 in Europe. So it's a big, huge potential with greenness, and it's a big question for the city how they can have this connection with green and with nature and with river also. And I will push a microphone.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our process over the last few days. And so our team kind of went through a design process that really centered with placing the people and the communities of Dachny, of Okhtyrka at the center of our work. So we started with an analysis of a participatory process that occurred in the city and in the neighborhood, as well as kind of conducting our own brainstorming session based on the focus of this workshop, of the brief, and what we envision as healthy and future-proof neighborhoods, and then also incorporating the more specific kind of needs, difficulties that were in the neighborhood that included, specific requests for wider sidewalks, bike lanes, and that kind of thing. So really connecting that to what we see as the city overall. There was a strong theme of kind of interpersonal relationships, having the neighborhood serve as this kind of transition between the private life and the urban public. And what that means is making sure that you have a feeling of safety and comfort that can be provided by connections to other people, to spaces where you can engage in culture. Arts and music is really important in the city, sports, leisure, that kind of thing. And so this all kind of concluded us to 6 primary vectors of our design process, which included a focus on opportunities to meet people, access to the natural environment, so enhancing green in the neighborhood, and also connections to green throughout the city, so really thinking about the mobility, those connections to nature, to the city center, and the amenities, a feeling of safety within the neighborhood, and having a functional mix, so making sure that you have a diversity of uses, can serve a diversity of people, consider for different age groups, different demographics, and then also thinking about, given the context of the destruction that's happened in the city and also within the neighborhood, how we can think about buildings in the future. And so this kind of, culminated in a large-scale strategy that spatially placed these design interventions within the district itself, thinking about the city and the river, and also also thinking about timescales in terms of what can be kind of implemented in the shorter term and how this can then serve as a longer term vision. And so we'll just talk through kind of these strategies and how they manifest spatially.
So first of all, we decided to focus on the most important things to improve the neighborhood, and this thing is to change the attention from cars to people first. As we can see at the diagram, we can actually see the main roads to the city center, but why on the scheme there is everything in red is that it's actually all the territory for cars. Like there is no specific territory where cars can go only. So people are parking everywhere. And in our proposal, we define some spaces for cars from the main roads and actually creating the green, totally pedestrian corridor inside of the neighborhood. And these changes led us to understanding that the space inside of the neighborhood actually has some zones where we have the central line where people can meet and enhancing this grid line of meeting people. And also we have some spaces which were configured by buildings. Here we can see the references for that main corridor, green corridor inside of the neighborhood. And regarding green connections?
And now we are talking about green connections, about how can we involve people to join nature, to be part of nature. And we find out that there is a river in this city, but there is no way to join the river and also the forest. Also, there is no possibilities of walking in this forest, and we choose to make to the direction a pathway to this river. On this slide we can see this part, this is forest, and we create different three ways how people can join the forest, and we created one way to join, and one pathway is walk in nature, and this is can be walking with natural coating, and other one is asphalt road, and this can include bike, scooters, and this is possibility for people who has disabilities to walk in there and also to join nature. And also one part is small road, and this small road include some funny objects, and this road can be used for small children to involve them and to learn them how to join nature, how to walk in the forest, and with a lot of different areas to be involved, not just boring in the forest. And also we created three different spaces for more active area for play for kids, and other area also playing area and picnic area, but this area more for the rest, and middle area to split the group of children for possibility to be to have more active games and to fight games. there is also not only the river, but also the lake, and this is also the part of the green forest, and we suggest to create a green forest where people can join forest in active way, and also some housing, boat station, and maybe the house for where people can drink coffee or tea after they join this part of forest. And also during the all this river, we suggest to build a pathway for walking and for bicycle, and also the activity can be changed, depends on season.
Proceeding with amenities from the river to getting back to the neighborhood. We thought a lot about the neighborhood itself and those spaces which were mentioned before, which became free from cars. So here on the map we can see that green corridor, which can be the meeting space for everyone. There can be some terraces. People can just walk around and gather and talk and chat and have these green pathway to the city center further. During the analysis, we also noticed that here is the kindergarten and here is the school. So those courtyards, which appeared after removing cars, we decided to make them the area for children. So this is more playful area for small children. This is more close to the school, can be area for hanging out for more older children. This space is also like a small corridor itself, but we decided that we can make that spaces more quiet zones for older people. Also, in this space, it's first of all, it's quite huge. Second of all, there were already some sports facilities, so we decided to enhance it and provide more sports activities for people. And this corner is, as it is as closest part to the city center. Also, in here we can see a hotel, so we decided to make this zone as the main attraction zone from all of the town and make it as event place. One more interesting thing, it is not shown really on the map, but in this corner, it is quite an industrial area and it is filled with the garages. And during our research, we spotted one small garage which young people decided to make into the club or bar. It is quite a famous one in the neighborhood, in the, I guess, in the whole town. So there are some proposals for that one to modify those garages and to enhance that corridors and boxes from garages into some interesting places for the communities, because also Okhtyrka is very known with its dancing music evolved community. And this is also the reference for some quiet zones and enhancing, example of enhancing green spaces inside of the neighborhood.
So it's a great idea. Yes, yeah. And I only clarify and do some conclusions about this, how we connect the people, the pedestrian roads. So we find some main and main connection and also the less connections, but it's fine to looking for the results for our idea. What we connected also for implement the next step in the short-term pilot project. So we are find these good connections between the city center and also our neighborhoods, and we provide this Dachny Boulevard and stretch this green connection to people for also for project bicycle roads and pedestrian roads. So and give possibility to people to go into the river and make this good roads for have a good nice impressions. Yeah. So and the next to clarify that we're going to the pilot project and also to clarify this green connection our neighborhoods with our courtyards and possibilities to people give this connection people to nature. So and about the pilot project.
So with some reference images of creating more space for pedestrians on the main roads. The last element of our strategy was how to deal with the buildings that are there now. It's very typical, a very typical Soviet neighborhood, and in that sense, because it's so recognizable throughout Ukraine, there are also good points in this. So we thought about not only not removing, but renovating, and with renovating, improving the qualities of the buildings themselves. So, for example, adding balconies with wooden structures on the outside, but also opening up the ground floor for flex workspaces for the inhabitants, in all manner of needs to fill up. And then, when the renovation is being done, also think about how rainwater can be collected on the roofs, which then can feed into these new green spaces in the public space. With the reference of green balconies and open pits. And we made this strategy for the near foreseeable future, whenever it can be sort of start. But we also thought about how we can create pilot projects with this idea of connecting people together in the public space that can actually already start next week. So our main strategy is to make car-free zones for people to interact. So we think about elements to place around these courtyards so that it's impossible for cars to go there, so you have a safe feeling for the pedestrians. And then going with the wishes of the people that live there can place elements for them to connect. And at the same time, this green structure, this river that's now inaccessible because it's on one hand polluted, so it's dirty, people don't want to go there, and it's completely overgrown, so it's not accessible because of the actual nature there. One of the pilot projects could be that a part of this natural area is being opened up for people to enjoy this green-blue jewel that's running through the city. And with that first pilot project, opening up a part of the river very close to Dachny and connecting it to the neighborhood, there also is a space for a vision where the river that's flowing all the way through the city from east to west, west to east, from east to west, connects not only one neighborhood to the nature, but can also in that sense create a network that creates a connection between the different neighborhoods and between the neighborhoods and the city center. And in that sense, stretching out throughout the city, connecting all these neighborhoods also to the bigger emerald network on the western side. And where this river is now flowing through the city and creates this opportunity from east to west, there are also lakes and other large green zones that could be connected, and in that sense create a network of green spaces where pedestrians and cyclists can go around the city, not having this conflict with cars on the big roads, and therefore creating a green-blue jewel in Okhtyrka.
And with the green-blue jewel, we give an applause to the team of